Let's talk a little about the labor negotiations that we've just been through. It's been pretty rough for you. Vic Gutbaum has called you a bald-faced liar. People in private have said worse, I'm sure, from the unions. Let's deal with one specific thing. You started off by saying, but there could be no wage increase. Then you moved to, but there could be no wage increase that would increase the size of a city's deficit. It had to be offset by productivity. Finally, it came down, there could be no wage increase outside of $610 million. To a lot of people around town, that strikes them as shifting positions constantly.
Well, I don't think so. Let me try to explain what I've been saying. What I've said is, and you said it a moment ago, is that we will not increase the deficit. We have a deficit. We're not going to increase it. Within that limitation, and within also the limitation that whatever we do has to be satisfactory to the members of Congress who have to pass upon our request for assistance, we are dealing in good faith with the labor unions. So you say, well, where will you get the monies to pay, if any? And obviously there will be some payment. I've never said there's not going to be an increase, but it has to be within those parameters. There are monies available, modest, relatively modest sums. There's been underspending in the Beam administration, which will be carried over into our administration. The governor gave us, from the state legislature, $100 million specifically towards the wage increases. We have a situation where we have made an offer, and I don't want to conduct labor negotiations on the television set, but we've made an offer, a very good offer, reasonable offer, but it is subject also to some returns on the part of the labor unions. We have said, and it's a formal offer, so I can quote it, we have said that we will pay $610 million over a 2-year period. That's $305 million a year, not all in 1 year, remember. Secondly, we have said that there will have to be $100 million givebacks by the labor unions with things that cost us money that we think we ought not to be paying for. The ones that people will remember, because we've talked about them, although they're rather small, are the blood days. We pay for cops not to work when they give a pint of blood. We pay people uniform allowances who don't wear uniforms. Those are two very obvious things, but there are many more. And we say that $100 million of that kind of operation should be returned to us. And then there's a third thing that's key. We have to get back managerial prerogatives. At the moment, there are about 2,000 people in city government who are not in the unions, who are managers. We ought to have 20,000. We are asking, not for 20,000 out of the 190,000 city employees that are directly on the payroll. We're not asking for 20,000 to be in the managerial capacity. We're simply asking for an additional 3,000. And we want their cooperation to get the state legislature to remove people who are supervisors, who are managers from the civil service unions so that they can manage. Those are the things that we are looking for, and I think that ultimately we are going to strike a balance and get the things that are necessary for this city.